Hey guys, today I am comparing the legendary kit lens from Fujifilm X-System with the understated basic zoom from the Leica Tl lens lineup. Fujinon XF 18-55mm f2.8 to 4.0 versus Leica Vario-Elmar-T 80-56mm f3.5 to 5.6. Is the obvious difference in lower maximum aperture enough to give Fujifilm a gold medal, or is Leica outperforming it by a significant margin? Let's find out, maybe even by using a brick wall. And if you are new here, my name is Petr Gardian and I like to take photographs with all kinds of cameras and lenses. And on this channel I am sharing with you my experience with the gear I have used, related tips and even an occasional travel story. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. But if you have watched some of my previous videos, you probably know that it's been a while since I spoke about the Fujifilm 18-55mm zoom lens. I traveled with it extensively in the past and enjoyed using it, so if you are interested in a review of this lens from the point of travel use, check out the link in the description. What I will say here is that the kit lens from Fujifilm is, for me, the best basic zoom lens you can get for your Fujifilm X camera. If the convenience of a standard zoom range of 27 to 83mm full frame equivalent is what you like or need. The Leica Tl 18-56mm on the other hand is a relatively new addition to my collection of L-mount lenses, but as I described in a dedicated video, it already won the title of the most useful L-mount lens, at least for me and my needs. I've proven this to myself during a recent holiday. This lens has a dedicated review video on this channel as well, so feel free to check it out later. So what do these lenses have in common, apart from practically identical zoom range? It's also good build quality and compact size. Both lenses are made from metal and will take some beating, which is something you would expect from a good basic travel zoom. Leica here has an edge in how sleek the lens design is. You can tell manufacturing tolerances are tighter in the Leica factory, and although this particular Leica lens is entirely made in Japan, it shows why it belongs to the red dot family. The Fujinon XF zoom is also nicely made as well, but it shows the almost 3 times lower price when compared to the Leica Tl lens. But it has some advantages like optical stabilization and dedicated aperturing. The aperturing is unmarked, as the marking would not make sense on a variable aperture zoom. The Leica lens does not sport an aperturing, but that does not concern me. The two systems have different philosophy of camera control and operation with their own benefits. The only other difference worth mentioning is that the Fuji lens has a plastic hood and the Leica one is made from metal. But that is hardly a reason to prefer one or the other. If you are like me, you will not use the hoods anyway. So let's move to what's really important, and that is optical quality. I expected the Leica lens to be better, but as I said at the beginning, the question is if the Fuji is that much worse to justify the Leica price tag. So to bring some clarity to this, I decided to use a brick wall. Yes, for the first time on this channel and in my life, I actually set up a tripod against a brick wall and took some photos. I don't like this type of test, as I think you can use pretty much any lens to your satisfaction as long as you understand its limitations and can work within them. But it would not be fair to make any type of judgment without looking at photographs taken at the same time and at the same focal length. Hopefully we will be able to see how different these lenses are in terms of sharpness and contrast. The photos you will see in a moment are 8-bit TIFF files exported from Capture One without any adjustments. I could not use RAW files straight from the cameras, as the Fuji RAF files are not supported by my video editing program. Leica shoots into DNG, which can be more practical, but that is besides the point. First set of photos are the maximum aperture of the given lenses, shot at 18, 35 and 55 or 56mm focal length. What surprised me was not the softer images from the wide open Fuji lens, but the area the lens covers. 80mm on Leica is wider than on the Fuji lens, not by a large margin, but the difference is there. Same but smaller difference can be seen at the 35mm and also at the long end. The Leica lens is noticeably sharper, but is operating on a higher maximum aperture, so I matched that with the Fuji lens for the next set of brick wall photos. The difference in sharpness and contrast is still there, but the Fuji lens performs slightly better than wide open, which is to be expected. So to make it complete, let's look how the lenses compare at f8, which is an aperture I would use most of the time during a nice sunny holiday time. The Leica lens is as sharp as it was wide open and is only losing a little bit of contrast at the long end. The Fuji lens, on the other hand, has not improved at all between f3.5 and f8, which is actually good news. It means you only need to stop down the lens a little bit to get the best image possible. So what's the conclusion? Leica is superior, no surprise here. And if we would take photos on our brick walls, the price would be almost acceptable. For standard zoom, the lens is very sharp with a nice level of contrast and is only let down by the slower base aperture. But I did that to keep it small and light. This doesn't mean that Fujifilm made a bad lens, not at all. The XF18-55mm zoom is a well thought out product that makes sense for a lot of photographers, given its size, maximum aperture and features you get for a really good price. The softer images are not a big problem in real world use, especially when you are already invested in the Fujifilm X system. So I really want to say that the Fuji lens wins and makes a Fujifilm X camera system a better option for travel and day-to-day photography. But I can't, because there is something else on the horizon that will make Fujifilm scratch their heads. Yes, I am talking about the new Sigma 18-50mm f2.8 DCDN lens that was just released for L-mount cameras. Too bad I could not have it here for this test, but I will definitely get my hands on one and make another comparison. Its size, price and mainly the constant f2.8 aperture makes it a great choice for a Leica CL user, at least on paper. And what about you? What zoom lens do you prefer for your holidays photography? What's important for you? The best image quality or optical stabilization, fast aperture? I am very interested to know your opinion, so please share your thoughts. Some of the best tips and conversation is happening in the comment section, so definitely engage down there and be part of our growing community. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you appreciate it, like the video and let me know about future videos you might want to see. And remember, there are show notes in the description. Have a nice day and I will see you with the next one.